Hello, welcome to the English class. We're going to learn 40 different, very sophisticated sounding adjectives that we can use to describe people in everyday life. You're going to sound a lot better if you learn these vocabulary words and you can use them to talk about people. Okay, let's start with the first one, meticulous. What does meticulous mean? It means that the person is very careful about small details. For example, she's meticulous, so she checks every detail before she submits her work. Do you know somebody who is meticulous? Maybe that person is your co-worker, or maybe it's a family member of yours. Someone who is always looking about or thinking about the small details, looking at the small details. Another example sentence. He's meticulous about grammar, so he corrects even small mistakes. I'm not meticulous. I sometimes miss tiny errors. What about you? Are you a meticulous person? Do you focus on the small details in the things that you're doing or in the things that other people are doing? Let me know in the comments. Next adjective to describe personality, eloquent. An eloquent person speaks or writes in a clear, fluent, impressive way. Wow. She's eloquent, so people enjoy listening to her speeches. An eloquent person is very good at speaking publicly to large groups, right? He gave an eloquent explanation that made the idea easy to understand. So, what kind of explanation did he give? He gave an eloquent explanation, a clear, fluent explanation. I want to sound more eloquent when I speak English. What about you? Do you want to sound eloquent when you speak English? Well, to do that, you need to listen to eloquent speakers. Isn't that right? And maybe you have the habit of watching videos or listening to podcasts of eloquent English speakers. Good job. Keep going. And you also will develop the art of eloquent speaking. Next adjective, witty, or as the Americans from the United States would pronounce it, witty. Like myself, we don't always pronounce the T's so strongly. Instead of witty, we would say witty, like as if it had a D. Anyway, what is a witty person? It is a clever and quick thinking person. Especially when the person is trying to be funny or use humor, right? So a witty person is able to think quickly about how to make someone laugh. She's witty, so she makes smart jokes instantly. She doesn't have to think a long time about it. He gave a witty reply that made everyone smile. I like witty humor because it's clever, not mean. So, do you know somebody who is able to think about ways to make others laugh quickly and intelligently? Let us know in the comments if you are a person like that. Reliable. A reliable person can be trusted to do what they promise. She's reliable. If she says she'll call at 6, she calls at 6. So, do you know someone who is reliable in your life? Maybe your best friend is reliable. And that's one of the qualities that makes that person such a good friend to you, right? He's reliable, so I can count on him to show up on time and not be late. We chose her because she's reliable and finishes what she starts. It's very important, if you want to keep your job, to be a reliable person, to show up on time and to do what the boss tells you to do. Isn't that right? Moody. What is a moody person? A moody person's emotions change often. That person can become easily irritated sometimes, right? Do you know anyone that's moody? For example, he's moody. 1 minute he's cheerful, and the next he's annoyed. Some people struggle with their emotions, right? Keeping their emotions balanced. She gets moody when she doesn't sleep well. I avoid serious talks when he's moody because he reacts strongly. Do you know a moody person? Welcome everyone to the class. Yes, we have a friend from Finland. And he says that he is moody. Oh, what makes you a moody person? Maybe it's because just by nature you are that way, or perhaps it's because you did not eat and you get a little bit irritated or agitated, right? Next adjective, my friends, approachable. What is an approachable person? It is a person that is easy to talk to. A person that you don't feel intimidated to be around. Geraldine Castillo, welcome. Hola, bienvenida. Mi amiga, Geraldine. Okay, so some example sentences with approachable, right? She's approachable, so students feel comfortable asking questions. If a person is not approachable, you're not going to want to ask that person any questions because that person makes you feel a little bit afraid or scared, nervous. He seems approachable because he smiles and listens. Our manager is approachable, which makes it easier to share problems or to talk about problems. So, my friends, do you know anyone who is approachable? Someone that's easy to talk to? Someone that you feel comfortable with to ask questions? Let us know in the comments if you know someone like this. Next adjective, stubborn. A stubborn person refuses to change their mind easily. A stubborn person has one way of thinking and they stick with that way of thinking no matter what you tell them, right? For example, he's stubborn. He won't change his opinion even with evidence. She's stubborn, so she keeps doing it her way. She doesn't want to change. She wants to keep doing it her way. I can be stubborn when I believe I'm right, right? I think many of us might be like that, right? If we really believe that we are right about something, it might be difficult for us to change our mind about it, right? Okay, next adjective, thoughtful. A thoughtful person shows care for others. They think about others. That was thoughtful. You remembered what I like. She's thoughtful, so she checks on people when they look stressed. Is everything okay? Are you all right? Can I get something for you to make you feel better? He brought extra water for everyone, which was thoughtful. Maybe there's someone in your family that is very thoughtful. Maybe your mom, or maybe your sister or brother. Who do you know that is a thoughtful person, always thinking about others and the feelings of other people? Let us know in the comments. Driven is another adjective. A driven person is a strongly motivated person who wants to reach their goals, right? So if you want to reach your goal of speaking English fluently, you need to be a driven person. You need to be determined to accomplish your goal. She's driven. She practices every day to improve. He's driven, so he sets goals and works hard to reach them. Driven people don't give up after one failure, right? If you try something and it doesn't work and you give up, you're not driven. But if you keep trying and you keep trying, even after failing many times, you are a driven person and you really want to reach your goals. Self-conscious. A self-conscious person worries about how they look or sound. A self-conscious person is easily embarrassed. They're always thinking and worried about what other people think of them. Are you a self-conscious person? Or maybe when you speak English, you are self-conscious. You are worried about how you are pronouncing the words, how you're saying the words. You're worried about what other people are thinking of you. He's self-conscious about his accent, so he speaks quietly. I felt self-conscious when everyone stared at me. She gets self-conscious when she is in big groups with strangers. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt self-conscious? Maybe you were in a big group and you felt self-conscious. When you are only one-on-one with your good friend, you probably feel less self-conscious. Isn't that right? Okay. So let's move on to the next adjective. Open-minded. What is an open-minded person? An open-minded person is willing to consider new ideas, right? She's open-minded, so she listens before she judges, right? So if you have an idea and you only think that your idea is right, you are not being open-minded. But If you say, well, I think this, but I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. If you have that way of thinking, you are more open-minded. He's open-minded and willing to try new foods. So you go to a new country or you try a new meal, a new kind of food from a different culture that you've never had before. If you try it and you're happy to see what it is like, we can say that you are open-minded. Stay open-minded. You might learn something from another viewpoint. All right, next adjective, impulsive. An impulsive person acts suddenly without thinking. Do you know someone who is impulsive? They act before they think. He's impulsive. He buys expensive things without planning. I made an impulsive decision and regretted it later. She's impulsive, so she speaks before she thinks. If you know somebody who's impulsive, let us know in the comments. Some politicians are impulsive, right? They make decisions before they think about them, and then we see bad consequences, negative consequences, right? Next, down to earth. A down to earth person is a practical person, but also this person is not arrogant. A down-to-earth person has a realistic way of thinking. For example, he's down to earth. He talks to everyone like an equal. Have you ever met somebody that believed that he was better than other people? That person is not down to earth. That person looks down at others because he thinks that he is better than they are. But a down-to-earth person views everybody to be equal. She's successful, but down to earth. So she doesn't show off, right? So some people are successful and they like to show off. They want other people to think that they are better. But a down-to-earth person does not think that way. They can be successful, but at the same time, they do not try to show off. I like down-to-earth people because they're easy to be around. On the other hand, a person who has the way of thinking as if they were better than other people, I don't really want to be around that kind of a person, right? Very good. Respectful. What is a respectful person? Well, a respectful person shows respect to others. They have good manners. They don't want others to feel bad. They try to respect the feelings of other people. For example, he was respectful. He listened and didn't interrupt. If you interrupt other people when they're talking, that is not showing respect to that person. You are not being respectful. Even when we disagreed, she stayed respectful. So, you can disagree with someone else, but still be respectful. On the other hand, a disrespectful person might disagree with you and they will insult you. They'll make you feel bad because you think in a different way. That is disrespectful. Please be respectful when you talk about other cultures, right? So we don't want to talk about other cultures in a way that makes it appear that we're looking down on that culture. Maybe that culture is not as good as our culture. That would be disrespectful. Okay. Curious. What is a curious person? A curious person always wants to learn and know more things. She's curious, so she asks questions to understand. He's curious about history and watches documentaries. I'm curious why you chose that answer. What are you curious about? Are you curious about anything in particular? Let us know in the comments what you are curious about and what do you try to do to learn more about that topic. A diligent person. A diligent person is a hard-working person. They are very careful in what they do. They try to do it to the best of their ability. She's diligent, so she studies a little bit every day. She does not let one day pass without studying because she's very diligent. He's diligent about practice, which is why he improved quickly. Diligent workers check details and avoid mistakes. Are you a diligent worker or student? Are you diligent in the home? Perhaps always trying to organize things in the home, always trying to be clean and tidy in the home. Are you a diligent person in different aspects of your life? Always trying to do it the best way, carefully. Let us know in the comments. Reserved. What is a reserved person? A reserved person is a quiet person, a private person. A reserved person does not share many personal details about their personal lives. For example, he's reserved so he doesn't talk about his personal life. She seems reserved at first, but she's friendly later. So maybe you are a person like that. When you first meet someone, you are a little bit reserved. You do not talk about your life. But after you get to know that person a little bit better, you open up and you become less reserved and you start to share private, personal details. I'm reserved with strangers until I trust them. Very good. Next adjective that we can use to describe people. Supportive. A supportive person helps and encourages you. They give you that boost that you need to do what you have to do. They support you. She's supportive. She listens and helps when I'm stressed. He was supportive and said, "Keep going. You're improving. Don't stop." Do you have a friend like that who is supportive of you, always encouraging you to keep going? Don't stop. Keep improving. Supportive friends celebrate your progress, right? Yeah, great job. So, if you know a supportive person, let us know who that person is in the comments. A straightforward person. What does that mean? A straightforward person is a person who is direct. They don't beat around the bush. They tell you directly what they think without trying to say it carefully, right? He was straightforward. He told me exactly what the problem was. I like straightforward instructions because they're easy to follow. She's straightforward, so you always know what she means. So sometimes being straightforward is a good thing. When you can say something clearly and it's not confusing, that's a good thing, right? But then at other times, being straightforward might be a little bit hurtful to other people. If you tell someone straightforwardly something that they are doing wrong, for example, they might feel bad. But if you try to tell them in a way that will not make them feel so bad, it could be better. What about you? Do you tend to speak to people in a straightforward way? Or do you try to say things in a way that people will accept and not feel so bad about? Let us know in the comments. Laid back. A laid back person is relaxed. That person does not get stressed easily. They're very chill, very calm, easygoing, right? He's laid back, so changes don't bother him much. She's laid back and stays calm even when plans change. I need a laid-back weekend after a stressful week. Have you ever felt that way? Stressed? And you need to just lay back? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining the class. I wish you the best. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If this was helpful, let me know. And try to practice these words when you can. Take care, everybody.